Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Alchemist Knits. This is episode 5, and we're back to our usual um, way of going about things today. We're going to start off with what I'm wearing, and then we're going to move on to finished objects. Then we're going to move into works in progress, and then we're going to finish out with spinning projects. So, what I'm wearing today is The Weekender by Andrea Mowry, and it is, see if we can back up here. It is made out of my hand spun CVM that I got from Cactus Hill Farms a number of years ago. This was one of my first spins, was CVM, and it's a bit of a variegated. These are all natural colors, undyed. We got darks and lights in here, kind of stripy effect. So that's what I'm wearing. Let's start off. We've got our handy dandy list here today. Let's start off with finished objects. So if you watched last video, the works in progress video, you will recognize this as one of the works in progress from however long ago that is now done. So hooray, we did it. We're finally getting through our works in progress. This is, it's not based off a pattern. I just cast on 21 stitches, and it is a double seed stitch. So 2 rows of knit one, purl one, 2 rows of purl one, knit one. Swap back and forth. So fairly simple. It's a long, long sweater. Ooh, not sweater, scarf. It can wrap forever. So cool. A nice staple piece for the wardrobe, can match anything. Good times, knocked it off the works in progress list. Let's actually talk about that for a second. I have decided, with all of the works in progress that I have found around my house and that needs to be finished, I have decided to turn it into a bit of a game of, if I finish 2 old works in progress, then I can start a new project. So it's not that I have to finish all of the works in progress before I can start anything new, because that's completely unfeasible for me. Not going to happen. But if I can keep it a net negative, I guess, of reducing the amount of projects that I have around my house, then overall that's a net positive. So we've got this one done, and that's just a basic scarf. And then for the next one, it's another scarf from my works in progress, from my old ones. This is the Funfetti scarf by Maxim Sear. And this is, so this is the pattern. It's supposed to be this, all these cute little entrelac looking things. And I decided in that video, I really was not enjoying, I liked the way they look, but I was not enjoying working them. So I decided to just bang out the last half. We're just going to turn it into stripes. And it's got little fringe on the edge. So it's a little bit asymmetrical. The shape is symmetrical, but it is asymmetrical in that this side does not have any fringe and this side does. So hopefully that'll add some interest as you're wrapping it around, and you got some stuff going on and stuff, it's just it's just color everywhere. So that's fun. I'm really glad to have gotten that done. Um, we'll see how much I wear it this winter. I kind of want to make the pattern again, maybe, even though I said I don't like working scarves side to side. I think it could be fun to try it again, because the way this looks, like, that is so much fun. But I'm not starting a new one anytime soon with how long this one took. So there it is. That one's done. That is our second work in progress. Done. Spoiler for what's coming up in just a second. But we're going to finish with our finished objects. I also, some of y'all might remember my walking pad project of this beautiful lady here. I finished her body. I got all the way up to the arms. And then I realized that I couldn't have her be a walking pad project anymore because you're adding the arms, you're adding this under part here. There's a lot of fiddly stuff that you don't want to be walking and trying to do at the same time. So I finished her up off the walking pad. We did that, and look at her. She's got a little velvet cap with sparkly velvet, like burgundy velvet spots. She's got this really cute little frill here. And then she's got little like shelf fungi on her legs. And of course, she's got the massive booty. So I love the way she turned out. She is like the bougiest little mushroom I've ever made with all the velvet and everything. I love it. And she's sparkly. Like, I like her a lot. She's really pretty. She's also available in my shop because as much as I would love to keep her, I have too many mushroom ladies and I'm planning making more, and I have more works in progress mushroom ladies. So she needs to go to a home where she can be, you know, loved and displayed. I'll put the information for that down below if you're interested in her or another type of mushroom lady. So that's it for finished projects. Whoop. And now we're going to move into works in progress. So what do we have? We'll start off with, this is the Halloween cowl that I started. It's a mystery knit along. I think I talked about this in episode 3, probably. So we're in the middle of the skeletons last time, and this time we've moved on to like this little like snaky kind of bit. It's like, and you can see the little snake faces right there in the middle. And then this next section is moving on to, you're gonna, it's hard to tell, but they're gonna be little cats holding pumpkins. Really, really cute. So that's how far we are on that cowl. I'm doing it on slightly bigger needles this time, so it'll hopefully fit a little bit better. So there's that. And I'm using all 100% of the Soft and Sleek DK for this because it's one of my favorite yarns. I love it. It just works. Machine washable. It's a good time. So, what else do we have? Oh, next we have, okay, so this is what I let myself cast on because I finished the 2 works in progress. So I've been talking for a billion years, like a couple weeks, about the Miss Arena tee, and I hand spun all the yarn for it. I wanted to cast it on in October, and I still haven't cast it on yet, but I have cast this one on because I found a picture on Pinterest that may or may not be AI. It's probably AI. I'm not sure. Um, but it's a really cool looking pumpkin sweater that's half and half. So this is what we have so far. It's really cropped, but as you can see in the picture, um, it's like the top bit, and then it has, so it has, I just pretty much decreased. I split, and then I just started decreasing, and that's what forms the smiley looking part of it. And then um, you're going to stitch the top and bottom together. So it's pretty much 2 separate pieces is what it looks like in the picture. You got the top part and then you got the bottom, and then it's got like this crisscrossy kind of stuff attaching the 2. So I have this top part done. I kind of used the Weekender as inspiration. So like you can see there's the ribbing up here. And so I kind of mimicked that and did the ribbing at the top because I just like how it looks. I kind of just used it as a jumping off point. So I looked up the size that I thought I would want and kind of fiddled around with the gauge. So I went with the stitch count, and then I went, because it's a bottom up pattern and I wanted to start at the top because I knew it would be easier to work this sweater that way. I had to like reverse engineer a lot of stuff and do some counting, and I think I got it. And so I started with that, but as you can see, I've got this crew neck going on here, which, yeah, I literally just used the Weekender for for stitch counts to start off, and then I haven't looked at it since, really. So once I got that, I connected the front, and then we, worked it flat, sleeves, front and back, and then we connected the two. So we've got a lot of like back and forthy kind of stuff going on with the colors together. Um, but I really like how it's turning out, and I like the ease on it so far. And I've already started the bottom part. So as you can see, this is going to go in the side. So in the side here, I bound off like 13 stitches, I think. Can we get it to, really hard to tell what is happening in here. But I bound off 13 stitches here, and then you decrease along here so that you have this sort of, so it's like on the side, it's got the bind off on the side here, and then it slowly slopes down and then goes back up on the other side because you're decreasing. And so to match it, because I bound off 13 stitches across here, I cast on 13 stitches for the bottom part, and I'm increasing at the same rate that I decreased. So I've got this side here, and then I've just cast on for the orange side, and I'm going to do the increases there, and then join them in the round, and then finish out the bottom of the sweater, and then attach the two, and then make the sleeves. I had dreams of wearing this weekend. I don't know that that's going to happen. I might shoot for it, but I don't know that's going to happen. So we shall see. This is just a fun experiment of me kind of designing my own sweater based on something I saw on Pinterest. So fun times there. And then after that, we'll cast on the Miss Arena after I finish up a couple more of my old whips. So those are all of my works in progress for now, my active works in progress, because that's all I'm working on is really the cowl and that sweater. And then we have some spinning projects. We will start off with the finished ones. So we'll do, I already showed you guys one of the skeins of Romney, maybe? I can't remember if I did or not. I might have showed you this one. So this is one strand of Romney, one strand of Baby Doll Southdown. Those are sheep breeds. Real quick, I'm going to explain my thought process with this because I realize that not everybody is a spinner and not everybody understands the differences in sheep breeds. So, for those of you that make socks, generally speaking, it's going to be merino with a little bit of nylon. The merino provides the elasticity and the softness, the nylon provides the strength. For this blend, the reason that I chose Romney and Baby Doll Southdown is because Romney is a very, very strong, sturdy fleece. It has a good staple length. So that's like the length of each fiber is long, which generally aids in the strength of the yarn. But it is very drapey. It doesn't have a lot of bounce, not a lot of elasticity. So that's why I use the Baby Doll Southdown, because the Southdown is very, very bouncy, very elasticy. So the reason we're not doing 100% Baby Doll Southdown is because while it is very elastic, it's kind of like the merino in it. It's very elastic, it's very bouncy, but I feel like it's going to get holes worn in it quicker than the Romney would. So if we combine the two, then we get kind of like the merino nylon, we get Romney Baby Doll. So you get the elasticity from the Baby Doll, and you get the strength from the Romney. And the reason that I don't blend them together is because the staple lengths are so different. So a Romney, you're going to have staple lengths like this big. That's how long the fiber is. And then, you'll have like little for the Southdown. And if you try to blend them, when you're spinning, the draft is kind of based on the length of the lock. And so when you have that blend of fibers, it can feel like you're fighting it the whole time. And it's not a very smooth and not a very fun experience. So it's a more pleasurable experience and faster experience, and gives you a more consistent yarn if, in my case for this, if I spin them up separately and then ply them together, because then every stitch is still getting one ply of Romney and one ply of Southdown, so it still gets that strength and that elasticity. So that's a quick explanation as to why I'm combining these two for socks specifically. I can make socks. I might be able to make 2 pairs of socks. We shall see. So that one is done. Next, we have my Tour de Fleece colorway spin that I got from Fearless Fibers. Well, from Frab Just Fibers, but I bought it at Fearless Fibers, the store. So this is, I'll show you this one first. This is the yarn 2-ply spun on itself. This was the leftovers because I had more of this than I had of the other yarn that I was plying it with. And so I just made this as like a little extra bit. This is the main one. So for this one, I really wanted this fiber to go a long way. Like 4 ounces is not a lot at all. So I kind of wanted it to go a longer way. I really liked the color progression and how it went. So I decided to ply it with a strand of Romney. So I did 100% Romney in a single ply. I did this. You've already seen it before, the Tour de Fleece colorway. And then I plied them together and made this bad boy. Looks very nice. It's very subtle. Like, come on. It gives me light spring kind of vibes. Like this is pretty. This is intense. I really like it. This is a little bit more subtle. And I like it too. And they both turned out beautifully. This is Blue Faced Leicester, which is a very shiny, soft kind of sheep breed. So yeah, there's that one. It's beautiful. We got our 2 little matching. We could do something with that. It'd be fun. So there's that done. And then we have a big spin. So now that I'm done with the Miss Arena T spin, even though I haven't cast it on, I've already started another large spin for a sweater. This one is for the knitted Kushu top sweater. It might just be called Kushu. And I was inspired by the hand spun that the designer used for one of their samples. And I really liked the colors in it. So I kind of used that as inspiration. Mine's not going to look exactly like it, obviously, but I used it as inspiration for my color scheme. So I started off, let me go ahead and show you real quick. So it's a lot of greens and whites and blacks and browns. And mine has just a little bit of orange in it just for color interest. So it's just not green, white, and brown. So it has a little something something in there, like you can see. I think, hopefully. Yeah. So for this one, I had previously dyed up a few, like a bit of Romney using the same color, but one was like a grayish color, a grayish brown, and one was a white. And so I dyed the wool for both of those, and I ended up with a like mossy green and then like a bright, bright spring green. So I used those, and then I have my notes here. So we have that Romney that I had dyed green. I also used Shetland, so that's what we have for the black in here, is a black Shetland. And then I stumbled across some CVM that I had had from, not this one, but from another sweater I had made. I forgot I still had some bats left over, so I used those. And those were like the lighter, so like the whitish parts, that's going to be the CVM. And then we have some alpaca, and that one was already dyed like a mustardy kind of yellow. The alpaca itself was a rose gray color, so I overdyed it with yellow, and it kind of made it a mustardy color. It's a bit hard to see in here because I feel like it just sort of blends in with everything, being alpaca. And then we also had, so the orange bits are East Frisian, so a little bit of wool that I had, I just grabbed a handful of it and just sort of threw it in there. And then we had one bat of some random merino angora that I had already carded and was not using for anything. And that one was white as well. So we'll have a little bit, maybe some sections will have like a little bit of a halo to them because there's alpaca in some parts and there's angora in some parts. But not enough, hopefully not enough to be too itchy on me. So yeah, that's what we have. We have 7 different things in this, and then also varying colors. So this is like an everything but the kitchen sink sort of bat. And I ended up getting 9 bats from it, from just, I just carded up each color and breed by itself. And then I did sort of a layering effect so that it wouldn't, I didn't want it blended. I wanted it to be like in sections of colors. So I tried not to blend it as much as possible and to have these layers in the bat so that as I'm spinning it, you're going to get these long sections of just one color and then it kind of blends into the next one, blends into the next one. That was the goal. And then, so I only had 9 bats, and I knew that that was not going to be enough if I applied it on itself for the kushu. And it would be enough, I'm pretty sure, for one strand of it, but I would need another strand to make a 2-ply to fill it out. So I did, so this is a blend. I'll let you see it right here. This is a blend of Romney and Shetland. So we have the gray Romney. It's a mix of some of that gray brown Romney, some white Romney, some fawn colored Shetland that I had already carded up into a bat and was just hanging out, not doing anything, and then some like medium dark brown Shetland. And so I blended all of those together to make this pretty medium silver brownie. So you can see there's a little bit of light, a little bit of dark, and that's what I wanted. So I didn't leave it as extreme as this one of literally just layers of each color. I blended it a bit more than that, but I didn't fully homogenize all the colors because I wanted it to have that also kind of variegation tonality sort of thing to mix with this. So we have these done. I got 2 bobbins of each of these filled with these colors. So 2 greens, 2 browns. I have already spun up 2 of them together. The other one's still drying. So I have 2 skeins already spun up. And this is what it looks like at the end. Look at that. It's probably a lot more brown than the inspiration for this is. I'm not upset about that at all. I think theirs was more white based and mine's going to be more brown based, but it's got those bright electric greens. It's got the little bits of orange. It's got sections of white. It's got a lot of brown. I'm really, really happy with it. So this is going to be, yeah, for that top. And I'm also glad that I didn't go, while it's mostly Romney, I'm glad I added other stuff in because Romney by itself, especially when it's thinner and you want to spin it, you're adding a lot of twist into it because it's so fine, because we need about a fingering weight for this pattern. You generally need to add more twist, and with Romney, if you add too much twist, it feels ropey. You want it to be soft, but you want it to be drapey. So that's why I'm glad we added in some other things to kind of give it a bit of body, because again, Romney's pretty drapey, but also to make it a little bit softer and avoid that ropiness as much as possible. So it's not the softest fiber I've ever felt, but it doesn't feel like rope. It doesn't feel, there's a tiny, tiny bit of prickle factor to it, but not a crazy amount. Like I could definitely wear like a shirt underneath this and wear it just fine. I think it'll be okay. So I'm really excited about that one. That's another project for when I finish some more of my works in progress. Is this still? This might be a little bit damp still. I might need to go hang this up. Oh, let's pull it out. Let's look at it. You know, look at that. What a beautiful skein. So there's that. There's my current big spin. That might be my new thing. Is I just always have one big spin going and then some smaller spins. I'm fine with that. I like the big spins actually. It's a lot of fun, especially when there's a lot of colors involved. So there's that for all of my spins. I think we've covered, yeah, that's everything we finished there. So thanks for coming along and checking out all of the things I've finished, all the things I'm currently working on. Let me know down below, what are you working on right now? Are you working on anything for Halloween? Are you working on fall stuff? Are you getting ahead on Christmas? Let me know. Thanks for hanging out, and I guess I'll see ya.
Goodbye, just